Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I had them in order.
Call to order, City of Mayville Finance Committee regular meeting, Monday, November 27th. Please take the roll.
Joe Tillman,
Here.
Ken Newman,
Here.
Kim Wolfman. Here.
Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Item 3, approval of minutes. Approval of October 30th, 2023 finance minutes.
I don't think they're in here, are they?
I'm right behind it. Second page.
Make a motion. Approve.
I'll second. Any discussion, Kim?
No.
All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. On to item 4, citizen comments. Citizen comments are to be kept to a minimum of 5 minutes per speaker unless the chairperson allows an extension of time. Each citizen is to make comments at the podium after stating name and address. Each citizen may comment only one time per public hearing. Are there any citizen comments?
Not according to the financial, I have other comments, but not according to the financial, just the financial meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, not according to that, I don't.
Okay, yeah, we'll have the other meetings coming up. Then we'll move on to item 5, items of discussion, possible action. Number 1, presentation, Chris Schwartz from Public Administration Associates regarding recruitment for city administrator.
That's
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. My name is Chris Schwartz. I'm had my cards out. Our website is on here.
Thank you.
Want to look at that?
Thank you.
You the control?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Joe, I don't, that's, I'm gonna call it Alderman Tillman, would you prefer? I talked with Alderman Tillman and about coming today and talking about the establishment and recruitment of the city administrator position. So I don't know how much I came to kind of give you some background, not give you a proposal or anything at this point. I
Sure.
mean, I will tell you how much it costs to recruit if that's where you want to go, but I thought it would be better, especially since it's, you haven't had this position prior, is my understanding.
Correct.
It hasn't been. So I thought maybe kind of give you a little bit of background on the administrator position. How much cost for an administrator, things like that, the contract, I brought some sample contracts with for an administrator and things of that sort. So you kind of get a feel for, I bought an ordinance, so we could maybe discuss kind of what other people, when you create an ordinance for it, what it looks like.
Sure.
If that's okay, I don't know how much time you want to give me, 30 minutes?
I think that'll be fine.
just about our firm, it's Public Administration Associates. We've been around since 1998. We've done about 400 recruitments in the state of Wisconsin primarily. It was recently we bought the firm, myself and two other city managers, bought the firm in 2019 from Steve Hitz, who ran a firm. He was the professor at Oshkosh in public administration. He did that, we bought it from him, and we've been, since then, we've probably the most that we are, do more recruitments than any other firm in the state of Wisconsin. So like in the last couple of years, we did over usually about 50 a year, 40 to 50 a year, including some department heads as well, like clerks and public works directors and things of that sort. So we're not the biggest. We all work out of our houses. We have three partners. Dave Brettel, who is the administrator in Walworth County for many, many years, and the corporate counsel. Kevin Brunner, who was the last job as a Whitewater city manager. And I was the village manager in Shorewood for many years, as well as in Sussex for many years. So we all retired, and instead of relaxing and probably do more fishing and things of that sort, we decided to buy this firm and serve communities in Wisconsin. Again, I have 35 years as a city administrator and manager in three communities, East Troy, Sussex, and Shorewood. So, you know, we have a wealth of experience in both the municipal field as well as the and recruitment. You know, we do a lot of things. We create position ordinances for communities, but it's important not just to recruit, especially for the first administrator, but to kind of make sure that you're ready to make that leap. And I know we've had a lot of discussion, Joe, is that correct, that about the position and about establishment of it?
Yeah, it's been kind of ongoing on and off for a bit.
Okay.
About I don't know when that was, 2 weeks ago, that we approved it at council meeting.
Okay.
So we haven't drafted the ordinance yet. And
Right,
we're gonna get there, but
Of course.
it'll come up at the next meeting.
No, but I think this is a good introduction. That's why I didn't really do a lot about a proposal. And I'll talk to you about our fees today, so you know, pretty up in our process. But let me just give you first a sample. This is Columbus, where I just in Columbus, I just worked there. We just recruited the administrator, and they only lasted 2 months, which is really rare. Usually we don't. We have long tenures, but it just didn't work out. Not that she just the person. It just wasn't the right fit after a while. She was brilliant. So this is Columbus's administrator ordinance. And as you see, it's, you know, the duties, I'm not gonna read through them all, but they're basically, think about it as a COO, right? In an administrator, it's the chief operating officer, where the mayor is more of the chief executive officer, right? Chief elected officer, but if you think about it as the chief executive officer, the administrator is the operations person, really, in an administrator, and really directs staff, you know, does all the planning, makes recommendations to the council, where the mayor's role most in a successful relationship, because sometimes their roles kind of cross each other, right? So a successful one is where the mayor is really the leader of the council, kind of a leader of the city, the cheerleader, the governor, if you will, where the administrator makes sure that the day-to-day operations are taken care of. And they do cross a bit, but as well as the trustees, because you don't want a situation where you have the mayor and the council members telling staff what to do and all of that, right? That's the new administrator's job. And right now, you probably have that where you interact with the staff quite a bit, I imagine, right? More than an administrator, that changes the dynamics a lot, because that, just like in your businesses, and what you may run, but you know, you wouldn't want the operations manager having a board person kind of going around the administrator, right? Does that make sense? So if you look at all of these duties and stuff, the administrator is the one who is directing the day-to-day operations, and you'll see that in here. So look that over. I'll give you a few minutes just to take a look at it. And then you can ask me a few questions, because I think it's important that this is only a one-page one. I did that on purpose. Besides, I know Columbus well. There are some that are 5-10 pages long. And not the most effective ordinances. The shorter the better. So most of them are two or 3 pages. They are, but they say the same thing. And when we get into contract, talk about they serve the pleasure of the council, of course, and so I'll talk about that a bit as well. But and the council does hire, usually we recruitment process includes the entire council. We don't have a committee, though we can. We'd like to have everyone involved. But at the end of the day, the council does approve the agreement. So. Does this seem like what you thought it would be?
I'm familiar with it because I work.
That's right. You work for Jim,
Correct.
for Jim, so you know how that works, but not everyone is familiar with that. So I want to make it clear, kind of, and I'm sure you discussed this as part of your.
I did. I mean, I made some distinctions, and calls from residents pretty promptly, regarding the fact that they're not elected official. I kind of explained it the best way I could, the same thing that you just did, that their job is really managing the day-to-day functions. It's not policy.
Right. So they can not recommend, they can give you analysis on a policy you're thinking of. That's a very important role, obviously. Like not, you're doing the policy in the direction, you are directing the administrator.
Right.
Definitely. Yeah, we also say that, what a business, what do you have, a $5 million general fund, 5 or 6 million, and a 2 million utility, something like that?
Yes.
I mean, that's a big, with about 30 employees, I'm guessing. About-
employees,
I don't even know.
over 120.
Oh, well, part-time, but maybe, the point is, that's a big corporation that, you'd want a professional to run that. Right?
I agree.
That's kind of how we talk to the citizens about that.
Sure.
Because I don't know, you probably want to have some sort of public information meeting on them before you create the position, I imagine, unless you did that before. You don't have to.
We established the position
Okay,
already,
Oh,
but we
you
have
did?
not created the ordinance. I mean, it came up a number of times, with no public comments, so,
excellent. No, I didn't know that. I'm
yeah.
pleased with that. So you're pretty far up. So is there any questions? You can give me a call or email me any questions on this. I'd be glad to take that if it's all right with.
Actually, I have a question.
Sure.
All right, so you show here that you have a annual licensing fee of $5,400.
No,
That
I don't think that's,
for the East Drive?
that's something different.
Oh, really? I thought it was a bundle.
No, this is all we've got from him, what he's given. That's a different
Okay,
line item.
I'm sorry. I'll save my questions for this person.
Great, thank you. Yeah. So I wanted to give you just an example, and they don't take long, there's so many examples out there that,
Right.
yeah, you want your attorney to look at it, of course, and all of that, but we could have a session where we can go through those and, see what you want in there. We can draft it as part of our services, our recruitment services. We'll complete we'll finish that as well, so with you, just so you. So that's number one. Number two, I wanted to talk about salary, because I think it's important before you go in, that you kind of know kind of what the salaries are in the market for administrator, if that's all right.
Yeah.
I think it's just important, again, as part of our services, we want to make sure you're all aware of the market before we recruit. Oh, I do have an extra. So what I did is I took population between 3,200 and 8,000. All the communities are different by a little bit, you know, but this is usually a good range. And, you know, so you're seeing that the minimum that we had in Mosinee, there's reasons why he's making that, because he's been there a long time and he's a resident there, a lot of reasons for that, but Amro, we just hired at 95, just did that recruitment. So most of the market for a community of 5,000 is over 100,000, for sure. We would recommend, if you were to do you're talking about between 105 and 120. Again, if you want to, that's the market rate going in, if you want to attract good candidates. So if you want to, I could tell you a lot higher, but I think 105, 120 is probably, hopefully within the range you are comfortable with. I see people go too low. They don't get any candidates. They just don't, you know, because it's just like in your businesses, especially in yours, Joe. These days, a building inspector, as you know, hard to find. They're very difficult. So, you know, that market rate, supply and demand. And same with the administrator. And it's a, you know, cost of benefits and all that stuff, you know, and all those add-ons. So it's an expensive endeavor for the community. We think, and it is proven over time that, you know, it's worth it. The effectiveness of the operations usually improve. Grants, I mean, they don't come with a suitcase of money, and you never promise that, but they do well in grants. They know how to assure the state aids, they get, you know, maximize state aid. So, you know, it is in the long run worth it. When I first got in the business I should say when I first started going to school, in the business in the late 70s, there must have been maybe 30 administrators in Wisconsin. Nearly 200 now. So, I mean, most communities do have administrators. It's those without them is the exception, especially at your size. So, you know, it has, they have proven itself as a, you know, as a good government effectiveness, you know, efficiency and effectiveness. But sometimes you gotta prove that to your electors, right? They're concerned about taxes and all of that, so thought it was important that I kind of give you that box, the market box for that position, right? Any questions on that?
Yeah, when did you do the research about the population and the amount?
It's based on 2022 figures, and I didn't increase it.
Okay, I just looked at it a couple of months ago.
Yeah, we have a WCMA, our City Management Association, does a salary survey every year.
And then I have one other
Sure,
question.
of course.
Other than your fee, after that person is hired, do you charge a finder's fee as well?
Oh, no, I'll get into that. It's a great question.
Okay,
I'll get into that in a moment. Then we'll be charging a fee in the process a
okay,
little bit. Yeah. Then no, there's no,
all right.
you know, in the private sector, what they do is the first year, it's a percentage of the salary. Which is, we don't do that at all. That's private sector, and they can afford that. So a lot of local governments, that's a huge fee, especially if you're making 100,000, it's 25%, you know, it's 25,000. We're a lot less. So any questions on salary? Okay. And then I gave you the ordinance. Well, the other thing I'm just gonna give you for your information, and I think it's important as well, I'll point out a few things. This is what an agreement looks like with a new administrator. And again, this is, it's very, I brought 7 because I thought you had 7 members. Did you like it? And I'm just gonna, so you have an agreement, so what we recommend. And most of our contracts, we call them evergreen contracts. Okay, an evergreen. I'm gonna work here, you're gonna hire me. If the council doesn't like the administrator. You can get rid of him. If the administrator doesn't like the council, he can leave after 30 or 60-day notice. Whatever you guys decide. So it's not like a 3-year contract and then the council renews it. That's not what we recommend. These work very good.
Typically indefinite, right?
They're indefinite, exactly. And sometimes they last a very long time. My career was 14 years and 15 years, in the community. So, it's something that many of us like to stay in the same community. There's a couple things in here that I think are important. Really, I think the only one that usually, sometimes there's moving costs. You could not require, in that ordinance I gave you, it says the administrator must live in the community. You can't do that anymore, of course, because of state law changed in 2011, where you can't require any city employee living in the community. You can have them if they're an emergency provider, a firefighter, a police officer, an emergency government director. I think you can require them to live within 15 miles of the city, if by ordinance only. The moving costs though still are important. Sometimes we see administrators who come from let's say up in Clare area and wants to move down to Mayville, right? Then you would give them a moving cost of 5,000 or whatever. But we are finding that a lot of folks who are taking positions are not moving. They usually live nearby anyway, and that's what interests them. And I'll get to that in a second. What I wanted to talk with a lot of the folks, the big deal is usually you have a severance. So I was talking about the idea of you don't want the administrator anymore. You don't like me. I'm the administrator. You don't like me anymore. It's just not working. Administrator's been here 5 years. You can fire them without cause, right? You can fire them with cause, theft or, malfeasance and all those types of things. But if you fire the administrator without cause, you usually have a severance provision in the contract where you've got to pay them. Usually the average is 6 months. A new administrator, sometimes it's 4 months, depends on they have to move their family somewhere to get there and they're taking the risk. They want 6 months. If it's someone who's local, you may want, 3 or 4 months, right? But it's a very important aspect of this. And this is one of the things that I always bring up ahead of time because it's usually has some sort of, sometimes councils don't like that severance package. So that's really the only controversial thing usually. And we've been doing this for a long time. That's always fixing the council members throw a little bit when they see that, but it's part of the market. They're gonna ask for it. A lot of communities are asking, or a lot of administrators are asking 12 months, not in Wisconsin. It's just not the thing. But, I think you just read the contract so you kind of know what it just goes through. What mostly the benefits are exactly the same as any other employee. No, there's no difference. But it says that in here. So things of that sort. So I thought it was important that I give you what an employment agreement looks like. Because you're gonna have to get married if you're gonna hire an administrator. It's this is the prenuptial and the contract for the marriage. So that's that. So any questions I wanted to give you? The only purpose I brought the reason I brought these matters up. So as you understand some of the things you have to you know, the cost, which is important, I think, that you know, kind of what the agreement is, kind of what the duties of the administrator, which you know, and I understand, you know that. But I thought a real life example of an ordinance would be important for you to see. Is that good for that? Can I go into the process of the cost for recruitment?
No, that's anybody else. I don't have any questions.
I'm just adding up here, so 59.5 days. of sick leave.
Well, this is just a sample from another community, and it all depends on which.
Because I've been at the wrong job for years on
Well,
vacation here.
They get this, usually the same things as your other staff does, so I didn't,
Okay.
I don't. I think the only difference between what the other staff gets is, if you get an experienced administrator, you usually have to give them 3 to 4 weeks to start. 3 weeks is a minimum to start, that's really, the other stuff is the same as everybody else and the staff, right? You don't want the administrator having better benefits than the clerk or the finance director. That's just doesn't, no administrator wants that either, so. But that was just an example. Trustee Olson, I'm trying. Are you alders or, you
Yes.
call them alders, alder, some call them alder persons, alder Olson, that's just an example. Okay, so let's just talk about our process briefly. We find it works pretty well, but giving our process, our cost, which is one of the lowest you'll find, is between 15.5 and 16.5 to do recruitment. And that's all inclusive. Unless you want to do psychological tests, then you pay for those extra, we don't mark them up, we just, but, you know, just the recruitment process, and it takes usually, let's say, usually you have to give it 8 to 10 weeks is usually what it takes. And then usually if you do hire someone, they have a 30-day, if they have another position, they have to give that 30-day notice. So it can take up to 16 weeks to everything can happen. And so if you started early January, you know, sometime in March, you'd probably have an administrator hired. I suspect what we would do is, you know, do the ordinance, get all that ready, start maybe late January and recruit through February, and then do the interviews and make the decision in March. But our process starts with when we ask the council and the staff, we think it's very important that the staff do well, to fill out an assessment form, which basically says, you know, what kind of experience do you want the administrator to have? You know, what type of skills are really important to you? What kind of personality type is very important to you that, you know, that will have the best fit for the community and the staff? So we ask the staff that as well. So we put this all together. We also want to know what your big opportunities for the community is. You know, what are your big future projects are. So when we start writing up, this helps us write up the job, the position profile, our marketing materials. So we can go out and say, you know, the City of Mayville is looking for these types of skills. They have these types of projects coming up. They want to make sure you can, you know, dive in and be successful in these projects. Because a lot of administrators are looking for a challenge, right? A lot of them aren't just looking to come and, you know, shuffle papers and supervise staff. They want to do other things. They want to make a huge difference in your community, right? Just like the council does. So you gotta, you know, you gotta tell the market, the potential candidates, why this is a great opportunity. So we use this to help with that marketing materials. And we put together a 6 to 8 page marketing brochure. Sometimes we put the video from the mayor, kind of, pitching the position as well. Because remember, we are, it is the administrators, there's very few out there. So we want to make our best pitch to get the best person in this, times with a shortage of professionals. And it has, I'll tell you, I've had 3 communities in the last year. It took us 8 months to find someone. And sometimes we only had 1 candidate. And we pound the pavement. I mean, I think we're the best at it. We really are, but in the smaller communities, if it's a big community and you're paying 200,000, 225,000, you'll get, it's easier to recruit, obviously. But in the smaller communities, especially, I'm not saying you're too isolated, but we did New Holstein, which is kind of like Mayville, where New Holstein is, has that kind of thing, right? And Amro, well, it's only 8 miles from Oshkosh. Took us a long time to fill that position. Marshall took us 8 months. So those are small communities. We're paying 100,000 or less. I think Amro, we ended up 100. So the point is, it's not as easy as it used to be. Like when I was applying for jobs back in the day, there was 50, 75, and you're clamoring for that job.
So out of curiosity, what are you doing about the Columbus situation right now? Because they are pretty close population wise to us. You had somebody there, they left. What is the position now?
Well, we have a guarantee that for a year, if they leave for whatever reason for a year, we do the recruitment over again. Except for the price of advertising. So yeah, we love Lisa. She was great. So yeah, we're starting to talk to the mayor today about that. I was the interim there for 4 months. So
I have family that lives
Yeah.
there. I was just curious.
Yeah.
how-
I have a really affinity for the community, and I really feel bad because she's one of the best in the business. Sometimes it doesn't work. And we've been in business without PAA since 1998. That was our 4th time we had to invoke the guarantee. There's only 4 times that the person didn't last, and that's like 400 recruitments. But I tell you, it's getting harder these days. Administrators know they can go anywhere, and if they're there for a couple of months, I don't like this. I don't think it's really ethical, or ethical's not the right word. But after a while, if 2 months, they go, I get another job, and if they think it's gonna be a rough road, they're gonna leave more than they used to. It's still the exception, but more than it used to be. We're seeing it more and more, because people do have a choice, right? That's unfortunate. So yeah, we are doing it over again. And we did that I just had it in Amro. We have a 1-year guarantee. She was there 364 days. And so we did it over. She got a much better job somewhere else after a year. They're not 364 days. So, but it took a while to replace that. So, it's easy. The harder time, your second time is more difficult, right? Because somebody left.
So,
that kind of
which
stuff.
leads me to another
Sure.
question. Your company, do you do like exit interviews to find out why these, I think you said 4 left?
We usually know why. We keep in touch. One of the things we do is, if we hire a new administrator, I'm calling them at least, once a month, see how things are going, until they tell me to shut up and I'll call them anymore. And they do that after a while. Not that good, but they say, I'm good, Chris. Give me a call in 6 months or something, but we follow up with them. Yeah, so we know why they left.
Okay, so do you know this gradually going on before that exit date, where anything that happens could be fixed before it comes to
We've
that?
done that before.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not fixable, but we've intervened. They've asked us to come and have a close door meeting, we've done that. Doesn't always work, but we have done that, we work, you know, we work with the administrator and kind of give them a pep talk or her a pep talk, you know, that's part of our deal, because we do other communities, so we want to make sure these people are successful. So that's just part of the deal, you know. So after we get done with this, we do you give us a good idea of what you want. An administrator, we go out and try to find those people. So the first step is you do the ads, just basic advertisement into the major publications, the International City Managers Association, League of Wisconsin Municipalities, the Wisconsin City Managers Association. Usually we do the Illinois City Managers Association. In Mayville, we might do Minnesota one, could be, you know, we do about 20 different publications. Some of them are free, some of them, and again, that's in our price, is all of that advertisement. Right? The price we give you is 100%. So, and then besides that, that's the easy part, right? The hard part is we go and we call as many people as we know. Well, sometimes we just send emails for some of the long shots, but we call people. We try to recruit them, just like any private sector we do. We call, hey, Mayville, are you interested? You know, things of that sort. That's a huge part of it. That's how we usually find people. We have a big network. Again, I think we did 40 recruitments this year, maybe 35 to 40. And we have a huge list of people who apply from Wisconsin and out of state. And, you know, plus we also have a lot of contacts because we are very involved in the city administrator, the municipal government circles, you know, the league, we're involved in the Wisconsin City Managers Association. I teach public administration at the UWM Milwaukee, have a lot of ex-students who are in this. So we try to work it to see how many we can get. So, you know, that recruitment is a big part of it. So that's the recruitment part. And then when it's up, we do the selection part. The selection part, our usual is, let's say we get 20 candidates, just let's hope we get 20, right? So we meet with the council, say, here's our 20 candidates, we rank them. We don't say these are the 5 you should pick, but we want you to, and we give you some background, some initial background on each of them. And we want you to select, if there's 20 and there is 5 to 8 that you might like, let's select them as semifinalists, right? So then we have a list of semifinalists. And then what we'll do is we'll go do backgrounds on all of them. So the ones you selected for the semifinalist, reference checks, things of that sort. Not the police background, that's at the end. We do that to the finalists. We do more of the in-depth stuff. But we try to figure out and we know many of them, but we want to, we call the references, we give you a report. And then we do an interview either by video, you know, where we actually have them record themselves with 6 or 7 questions. We have them do a video of themselves answering these questions within a 6-minute time frame. See how good they are under pressure. And or else we could do, I've done Zoom ones too, where we interview on Zoom and then we'll let you see those. So you see now an interview, you see their references, you know, the report, tell you a lot about them, kind of their quirks, their, you know, and so you get to know the candidates a little bit. After that, then you pick your finalists. So let's say you select 7 of the 20 as semifinalists. After the reference reports, after the videos, you need to get it down to 3 or 4. Then you do some major interviews with the council, with the staff. You want the staff to get involved and have to, but we always and we do some writing exercise. We do some psychological test. And so the idea is to keep on getting information on the candidates so you feel comfortable with, after your interviews, we'll go, yeah, these 2 are the best. We're we usually get to that point where it's very clear where the number 1 and 2 is after all of this. Now, having said that, there are many smaller communities where frankly, I didn't get 7 candidates that I thought was worth interviewing. So I asked the council, why don't we just skip that phase? We just do the reference reports and you interview 4, and we discount that by about $1,800 if that happens. Because of work we don't have to do. And then, you know, you go right to the assessment phase, right? And the interviews and things of that sort. Does that make sense? You know, and then we help, once you select someone, we work it out with the contract, we do the contract for you, and then we ask the police department to do the, if the police department doesn't feel comfortable doing it, we ask the sheriff's department to do the criminal background, which is really just 3, you know, I think it's traffic, it's financial, and it's, you know, criminal. And if you want to do more, we don't always recommend it. And there's some councils who want to do the whole full FBI background check where they go talk to the neighbors. We don't think that's worth it because we usually know the people, you know, but that's up to you. It's on your time. Things of that sort. But that's kind of our process quickly. I went through it quickly. I will have this, if you want a formal proposal, I have our basic one, you know, that I can give you. I will, you know, it'll be a little less, it's probably gonna be 15.5. It's the first time. We've been charging 16.5 to 18.5 depending. I'm very close. It saves me time, you know, I'd be the lead and I'd work with Daryl Hoffman. He's one of our associates. He works with us sometimes. He was the administrator in Sheboygan about 5 years ago for the guy who got fired that you read about. He wasn't the one. So, you know, we'll have 2 of us working on it. So that's kind of in a nutshell. I hope I didn't go over too far. I know I talked fast, but is that the kind of information you needed? Is there anything else?
You were in Charlotte for how long?
I was there in 13.5 years.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Been there a long time.
Did you like it?
Yeah, till the end. It became a little too political versus business. So, you know, the world became more political.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it was a good job. It taught me a lot.
I think I'm done with my questions. I'm gonna let you guys go. They get upset because I do ask a lot of questions. They want to go home and
Oh,
I feel bad for them, but.
Speak for yourself.
I don't have any questions.
No, not at all.
I mean,
It was great. It was a great presentation, great start. Appreciate your time and it's exactly what we're looking for, exactly what we planned for, exactly what we budgeted for. We're right on top of the numbers on that side. We're right on top of the numbers for your side.
okay.
So it was important that we heard a little bit more. And I think it's
make a recommendation to council to, I guess we could just request a proposal.
Yeah.
For the next council meeting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would give you enough time.
Sure.
Um,
It doesn't take me long because
okay, that
frankly,
would
I've
be
done
December.
so many of these.
December
You've been through
11th.
this Rodeo before, right?
Pardon?
You've been through this.
Yeah,
rodeo
yeah.
before.
So look, it won't take me long. I'll get it to you this weekend.
Okay, yeah, that would be fine. And then I don't know that you would need to be present
no.
for it. I mean, I think
Okay.
we've got what we
Okay.
need and we could, if there are any questions, I'm sure we all got your contact information, so.
Well, very good. Well, thank you for your time today and thank you for thinking about us.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. By the way, I love your minutes. Did you do the minutes last time? Yeah, I was reading the minutes because I wanted to know a little about the community.
Oh, sure.
And they're just so packaged, really nice. Being an old clerk, I liked it, so. Anyway, that's great. I'll send you that and, you know, Joe, if you want to just, after I send it to you, if you have any questions, let me know.
Sure.
And you and I maybe can talk about, if you go ahead with it, we'll talk about the process a little bit more and.
Yep.
I maybe have a few questions for you.
Sure, sure.
I need answered as well.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Beth.
Finally get to
Yeah.
Mayville.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
Come
got a
back and
wonderful
visit the
downtown.
next time.
great downtown.
I agree.
I've never been here before. It's just great.
Looking for an administrator.
Huh?
You came up with what was it? The rate?
No,
He
yeah.
was right there. Just give up that teaching job.
Get back into it.
Yeah,
What's that?
He's
I was just teasing about.
nudging
being
you to just
administrator.
jump right back into the administrative
Right,
side.
right.
Oh, yeah. I did it 4 months in Columbus and I
See, there you
enjoyed,
go.
I
That's
just,
fine.
I enjoyed doing intro work. It's really fun. Cause if they fire you, it's like, okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I guess we recommend the contract proposal to review of a contract proposal to a council meeting.
Is that a motion? Or you?
Yeah,
Still wording?
I'll make a motion to recommend the council review the proposal from Public Administration Associates at the December 11th meeting.
I'll second it.
We'll have to take a roll vote.
Yep.
I just want to make sure I heard right. Motion to council to review the proposal from, EAA, for council on December 11th.
Correct.
Joe Tillman,
Aye.
Ken Newman,
Aye.
and Kim Olson.
Aye.
And the item 2, discuss the proposal for e-scribe, a meeting management system that all departments can use for meeting agendas, minutes, and website notifications.
Okay, now I'm on the right ship here. Who's gonna talk? For my questions on this?
Well, we don't have a presenter. It's just the email that James sent us.
Okay. All right, so the two most important people who deal with stuff like this, it's more important to you two than it is to me. Well, it's important, but you're the ones who gotta deal with it on a daily basis, or more so you, Chris. What do you think?
If watching the 20-minute presentation demo that he had, I understood it exactly from start to finish. And it started from our agenda to, putting it on YouTube. The one meeting that I really wish we would have had it at was the budget one, because part of e-scribe is you have your council in each meeting set up already. So when you guys are voting, I'm just clicking yay, nay, yay, nay. It's not having to go back and retype.
So it's quick and
25
efficient
different-
and a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
less
because
read.
you're doing it right here. I
Okay,
would be, like whenever there's a vote, it's click yay, nay, right away. There's no, there is, yes, there's some retyping of some if you want to add in, because of course, I'm not catching everything, but it's a lot less. Like I said, the votes are taken right here, front and center. If you have, one of the biggest things that is with it is it automatically takes your agenda and it puts it right into your minutes. So you have, it's married right away. It's not, okay, where does this, how do you answer this? The other thing that I really liked about it is it works with our OWL, so we wouldn't have to do anything with that. You can, if you get the higher package, it works with YouTube, so you can take right tonight. If there's not a lot of, additions that I would have to make to it, I could probably have it put to YouTube tonight.
okay.
And then once like, somebody else, a citizen is out looking at our meetings and they are not interested in the finance part, they want, want to see something in Public Works, they can go click right on that agenda item and it takes them right to that part of the video. So they don't have to sit and watch a whole video to get to the part that they want to watch.
And then the only other question I had is the license fee. How many do you think we need of those?
I would have to talk to James about it. This is just the very first
Okay.
time.
Okay.
I didn't even know, if you guys would be interested in it or not, or.
The, I'm interested.
The other thing is I would have to confirm with James as well, but he said that, like, say for example, the library, the water, the wastewater, Parks and Rec, if it's, I think he said it was possible that they can log in and do the same thing right at their meetings. So I wouldn't have to be retyping everything from them as well.
I mean, I like the idea. I think that I would want a little more time to go through it. I mean,
And he said if you guys want to watch any demos, he would be glad to,
I was gonna say, I'd like to maybe reach out to him too. I mean, flip through this, have some time to talk to him. I mean, I think it's probably a good idea. But I'd like to have some time to do a little research on it. I think even with the added cost, we're saving time and labor. We know time is hard to come by here right now, so we can save that one. We're not wasting time doing something we can automate too. You're offsetting some of your labor cost anyway by, I don't know how many hours a year it is, but I'm sure it's significant that's spent typing it all up.
Mhm.
So. I don't want to do anything with it tonight, but I like the idea of taking a hard look at it.
Okay,
I'm sure James would be okay if I share the email from him. So you can watch the demo too
Sure.
as well,
Yeah,
so you can.
that and maybe if you would just let it confirm with him that we, if we have any questions, I'm sure he's fine with us emailing and calling, but just let him know that maybe we may be, one or all of us may call with questions. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them. So I would motion to postpone this till the next finance meeting,
the next what meeting?
the next finance,
Okay. Which is when?
end of December.
December 27th.
Yeah. Can't move that up.
And I will be at the meeting.
That's where all committee meetings would be fall.
Did the 27th? Oh, yeah.
And so I will be at that meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when we would do it prior to that. I mean, I don't know if it's worth calling a special meeting.
It's gonna take a lot of time to implement this if we wanna go this road. Okay.
Anyone a second?
Second. For the postponement until next, finance meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 3, discuss with possible action 2024 contract offering from Dodge County Humane Society. Brought from the October 30th meeting. I had questioned there was a way to track how many strays we had taken in. So we don't go over the contract number. I remember asking that question because the ink, I don't remember what it was, he said it's typically 20.
Jeremy did tell me, when you told me, I don't remember the numbers, but I was thinking probably keep it the same as last year.
Which was 20.
I thought,
You've had 11 up to this point this year. And we don't have a way, we didn't have a way of tracking it, but we do now, we have a flag in our phone system that we can, track it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we're only at 11, I'm not concerned. The reason I questioned it is because if we're going like 25, 30 or whatever, I mean, it's not a massive increase to double it. So I thought if we're close to that number, maybe it's worthwhile. If it's not,
was it 3,600 last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to double because I saw 400%. You remember I was having a willy-nilly, but the percentage was incorrect. So, yeah, the same, I think, would work.
Yeah, okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the $3,600 lump sum, which covers up to 20 domestic stray animals.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Or do we gotta do a roll?
Oh, I suppose we should do a roll since it's finances. I'm sorry.
Tillman,
Aye.
Henderman,
Aye.
and Wilson.
Aye.
Hey, item 6, adjournment.
Make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Call to order the Public Works meeting. Monday, November 27th at 6:57 PM. Roll call, please.
Well, it's great to be. Mike Schmidt,
Here.
Bill Tillman,
Here.
and Kim Olson.
Here,
Item number 2, approval of minutes of the October 30th Public Works Committee meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3, citizen comments.
I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank
I
you.
really do.
Thank you very much.
Is the public works that you wanted to speak at, or was that a different one?
No, I would like to know, I noticed these pictures you have up here. You don't have a picture of the senior center up here,
Well, by God.
and I don't see any of you people coming down to the senior center and looking at the building at all. I was president for 10 years, but I left about 10 years ago. And, you see, they have a picture of weeds here and water, and you have no picture of the senior center or a picture of the city hall in the fire department, the police department. I mean, aren't you proud of that?
Absolutely,
And I think you should be very proud of that.
we are.
And you have no picture of the senior center. You know, when I took over the senior center, we had about 110 people. We're down to about 35. And believe it or not, 4 people are from Mayville. We have Houstonford, we have Horicon, we have Tressa, we have Lamira, but only 4 people from Mayville. I'm one of them.
Thank you for everything.
You know, I'm very sad about that. The city does not push it. I mean, you got a couple of these pictures you don't even have to have up here. I don't see no writing on them. If I'm a visitor coming to Mayville, I look at that, some of these pictures, are they in Mayville or aren't they in Mayville? There's no writing on them. What they're of. I'm very disappointed about that.
Is this what you wanted to talk about? I don't even know your name.
I'm Jerry Kemp.
Hi,
I
Jerry.
live on 600 Highview Court on the east side. We don't have an alderman right now, I guess.
Okay,
Bob Smith was our alderman.
So that'd be me then.
Pardon?
That would be me.
There what?
I
This
I
is
I
your
took
alderman.
over for
You're
Bob
the
Smith.
alderman of one? And
Oh,
two?
no, I'm up two,
You're in two, but we have an alderman of one.
correct.
Well, that's where I am. But, it's, I'm proud of this city. I mean, we have a good water department. I'm very proud of our water department. And, I'm proud of the way the city works. As far as I'm concerned, I don't, if they do have any faults, I don't know of it. And the police department, I'm very proud of it. And, the way they're working, but you know, you don't have a senior center picture up here. You don't have a city hall picture up here.
let's get a picture and get one up then.
Well, yes, I would,
By all
whoever
means.
is in charge of this, I would like that.
In all honesty, I do not know who's in charge of that. But I
But
can find out.
every picture here does not have any writing on it. I mean, is this a picture of Horicon? Or is this a picture of, Lemira? If I come in here and sit down at a meeting, and, I mean, what is this of? I mean, it doesn't tell me anything.
I know what everything is, but I've been here 50 years, so, but if a stranger came in.
But
here, I
you
wouldn't
know,
know.
yes.
Pardon?
But if I move here to Mayville and come in here, I mean, who is this of? Is this where you lived 20 years ago, a picture of all these? Or what? I don't know.
Okay, I will make a note that we will do
Could you?
something about it, yes.
That'd be very nice. I mean, people that come here to move to Mayville, I mean, they want information, they want to know. But what does this tell me? Nothing.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Pardon?
Thank you for bringing it to our
You're
attention, but
welcome.
we can do something
I'm
about that.
proud. And thank you. Very proud of you.
You have to go over and visit them sometime, they do have some cool
I
pictures over there
have.
too.
Not
All right.
not lately. I mean,
I
I've
mean-
had 18 surgeries already.
Oh, goodness,
And, I was almost dead, close to death,
I'm glad you made it on this cold night, and I made myself a note,
but, I was
Mike, work with me on this.
I was the manager of the senior center for 5.5 years, and I was the janitor for 5.5 years, and I was president for 10 years. But I had a hip replacement, I had to leave a couple of them in the city, well, there's a lot of red tape here.
Mhm.
I hate to say it, but there was a lot of red tape here. But, the tag center, they wanted to take over the managing of it. And, so I gave that up, so they took it over, but I had more rentals here at the senior center than, they don't push the senior center for rentals anymore, and, well, we had one of them that destroyed the place. But,
I was just there a few months ago, by the way, it's beautiful.
it's now, it's, and we have no janitor. One person comes in for 5 minutes, checks the toilets and that, and takes off, empties the garbage can and takes off. There's nobody cleaning the place, the windows are filthy. When I took over the managing of it, I worked there 40 to 50 hours a week for 7 months. The place was so damn filthy. And I cleaned every inch of that place. I took the wall sockets out. I cleaned the inside of them. I took everything out of the kitchen cabinets, washed the inside of the cabinets, washed the outside. I washed the outside of the building because the building was 28 years old when I took over. It was never cleaned. I washed the outside of the building. I washed the rain gutters. Everything but the roof was clean. I washed the ductwork inside. I washed the inside of the furnace. and in the ductwork going in. And all the filters, everything, the sockets, everything I watched, all the lights I took out, watched everything inside, cleaned up. It was so bad. But I did all of that in 6.5 months. I painted the building, the inside. It was a flat wash paint. It was bad. I did all of it for $1 an hour. I put 2 coats of semi-gloss paint on there. Now you can wash the walls. But nobody has washed it since I painted it, and that's about 15 years ago.
It looks pretty nice either way.
But it needs a lot of work right now. We need a janitor, what we need.
I made
We
a
have
note,
none.
I am gonna be seeing John soon, and I made my notes, so,
And very disappointed in him,
okay.
very.
We're going through some tough times right now,
Yeah.
so let us catch our breath and we'll get
I
back.
see
in
his
order.
picture in the paper. And he's working for other places. He could come in by us and wash the walls. He's in charge of the senior center. He could wash the walls instead of working someplace else.
Or we could maybe get some high school kids.
Yeah, it
So-
needs a cleaning.
All right, I'll let him know. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. We will definitely look into that.
pardon me?
I said, thank you for your comments and we will
You're
definitely.
welcome.
Item number 4, items of discussion. There are none. Item number 5, adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn
I'll second.
7:07.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Call to order, City of Mayville Public Works Department meeting.
Safety.
Public, that's that. You're right, public safety. November 27th at 7:07 PM. Roll call, please.
There's the,
Here,
Kim Wilson,
Here,
and Woman.
here.
item number 2, approval of minutes of October 30th Public Safety Committee meeting.
I move to approve the October 30th meeting minutes.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 3, citizen comments. Hearing none, we will go on to item number 4, discuss with possible action. Tobacco products retail license for Smoke and Puff, 935 Horton Street, Mayville, Hassan Mohammed El Zafri.
Yeah, I don't know. I hardly know anything about this. Does anybody know anything?
Chief,
What was that?
That, new Smoke and Puff Inc. 935 Horicon.
Yeah, I saw a application come through where they wanted to, sounds like they just want to sell tobacco products.
Is that in the area of the old TSB?
I believe that's
Okay.
TSB Bank.
so you haven't had time to do it yet?
Well, I mean, they sent in an application. All that would have to be done is they would have to, you'd have to approve a tobacco license for them. But I wouldn't have any part of it.
So you've got no complaints about the business or the guy or anything else?
No, it's not a business yet. They're not in the building.
All right,
He did send me everything that I looked back at other tobacco licenses. And he sent me everything that he is requested. And then Ryan recommended that I just notify you guys of it because
Okay.
that's all it needs to be done.
What about an occupational permit? Did you fill that out yet?
You probably wouldn't do that until you approved him to be in there.
Yeah, I think he needs to be approved first.
Right.
And he paid his permit and Ryan, like Ryan said, he reviewed it and we did everything we could find from previous ones.
I'll move to approve, the retail license for Smoke and Puff at 935 Horicon Street.
motion, do we have a second? I'll second. All in favor, well, yeah, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Item number 5, adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn at 7:10 PM.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Call to order City of Mayville Personnel Committee meeting, November 27th, 7:11 PM. Please take the roll
Joe Tillman,
here.
Doug Schmidt,
Here.
Ken Newman.
Here.
Item 2, approval of minutes. Number 1, approve September 25th, 2023 Personnel of the Whole Committee meeting minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the September 25th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And item number 2, approve October 30th, 2023 Personnel Committee of the Whole minutes.
I approve that. Make a motion.
Second.
All right. Motion by Newman, second by Schmidt, all in favor?
Aye.
And number 3, citizen comments. No citizen comments. Item number 4, discuss with possible action. Number 1, 2024 city holiday schedule.
So in that packet I gave you, there are the handouts that are gonna go with the tax statements. And in that packet.
Holidays are on the,
Yeah, the holidays are on there. We've reviewed them. I reviewed them with a couple department heads. We think that they all go along with what we did this year as far as dates for, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yeah, and so I just wanted you to review them and
I've got no objections to the schedule.
Who did the layout of all this?
there was a combination of a couple of city employees and myself that got it
Really, really
figured
good.
out.
Thank you, it was wonderful.
I don't have any issues with the dates. The only notes I would make, if you've got a copy handy, is March 29th. You don't have highlighted on the calendar itself.
No, the calendar above it, that's to pick up for the,
Gotcha, okay.
that's just the
So then,
DFL.
the other note then I guess would be just on September 2nd, you've got it labeled as New Year's, just
Oh,
swap that up for Labor Day.
that's funny, I had found how many people in the family. That's okay.
That's right, that's why we look at
That's
them.
right, yeah.
I have no issues then, I would move to approve the 2024 holiday schedule.
So
All right. All in favor? Aye. What about you, Newman?
Aye. I'm just checking everything.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
So I don't know if this, I don't know if I need to tell you this at this time or not. So I contacted DPI, who does all of the printing for the city. And, we got a price for them to print these all out for us and fold them. And then when the tax statements are ready, they'll fold them and they are going to stuff everything, so we don't have to do any. So the printing of this, we divided it into like the 9 departments that are mentioned in here, so it comes to like about $145 department for the printing of that. And then, DPI just got back to me this afternoon and, to do all the folding, printing, stuffing, everything, is an addition of $600. And I contacted Cameron Sawyer on that dollar amount for all that, and he said that he thought it was a very good price. And it would save us a lot of time to get it all done at one time. So,
I mean, I think we have to prove that
Yeah, because that has something to do with money.
at finance, so maybe we can look at a finance committee meeting, like a special finance prior to the council meeting, so we can just get that
If we do
through.
have a special meeting, can we go ahead then and add, this, East-Grad?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we could, but we'll have to do that once we get to that point. We gotta make sure we got a meeting scheduled first. All right.
do you want me to make a note?
I will, I'll send an email, I guess, and we'll just have I'll send an email on it, we'll get it squared away. All right, number 2, dated documents for review of employee handbook at the December Personnel Committee meeting. I don't know what this is.
So, I was just looking back at minutes
Yeah.
and it was moved to the December meeting. So I just wanted to note this, that if there was any other documents that you guys needed me to get together, or if we were gonna move it to next year.
Yeah, we're talking about this employee handbook.
We've been talking about
Situation.
it for a long time. We need to make some revisions.
I haven't looked at it and I'm sure that it needs revisions. Because of where we're at, I think this would be the perfect task for a brand new city administrator.
Yeah,
Would be much more suited to this than all of us who don't do that for a living.
the handbook would change due to a city administrator, the outlays, some things are gonna change just because of that position, just so you know.
That's fine. I'm just saying in terms of updating it, they would be more probably
Yeah,
suited than
yes.
we would.
Yes.
I don't even, to be honest, I don't even read them.
Well, I have a couple times.
I think that would be the ideal scenario, is to have that be a nice little project for a new city administrator once that's all squared away. That's just my opinion.
Well, it makes sense. So, let me,
As long as it's code of conduct.
Yeah, so I guess, I would make a motion to postpone the review of the handbook indefinitely, and we can bring it back up when we get to the administrator.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. And then item 6, adjournment.
So. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Adjourned at 7:20.
so Tony, before you go, I just gotta show you something really. Oh,